What's up YouTube, trueeevil here and welcome to my ultimate guide on Pink Paws Heist. If you follow this guide, you will be able to get your maximum limit of 1 million Fons in under an hour. Unless if you just have bad RNG out the wazoo, but I would say the average RNG, it should be under an hour at these lower levels for week 1. So without further ado, let's just get in on it. The first thing I would say to maximize getting the most Fons as possible in Pink Paws Heist is doing this as a multiplayer experience. This might seem counterproductive because you can't share loot, but the reason why co-op is the quickest way by far is for a couple of reasons. With one, the easiest way to guarantee runs where you get a ton of Fons is by completing the boss at the end, which drops a ton of piles of Fons. In order to access the boss room, you need the gold access card to get in there. In co-op, only one person needs the card, which is huge, because if you do not use a card on a run, then it is in your inventory for the next run. The second reason this is the quickest is that in 11 minutes, there is no way you're going to clear the entire area solo, and since the card spawn is RNG, you want to have multiple people covering as much as possible so the entire area of Pink Paws Heist is combed thoroughly, so you have the highest chance of getting a boss card every run. Now that we know why multiplayer is the best way to do Pink Paws Heist quickly, let me walk you through the method. The first run, you don't actually want to go to the boss room, and this is what I like to call the looting phase. You want to coordinate with however many players you have, up to 4, which areas you're going to go through. If you're worried you don't have 4, don't worry, 2 is perfectly fine. You just need someone to go left and someone to go right, and if you have more people, you can coordinate, say like I go northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast, but left and right is pretty much all you need. You might think you shouldn't check the first area, but the boss key seems to be randomized where it's gone. I found it at the very beginning sometimes, so you actually want everyone to check everywhere, even though there's less Fons at the very beginning than say on the second floor. We're trying to find the boss key because the boss key is going to get us more Fons than say the statues on the second floor. So one person on the left, one person on the right, and you're just going to want to search through everything that you can find. Then when you get to the second floor, this is where you're going to need to figure out where you're going to evacuate. Not every booth is open on every run, and on the second area, 201 is at the very beginning, 202 is on the left, 203 is on the right side, and 204 is in the very back of the room. What you're going to want to do is the person who goes on the 202 side, type in either text chat or say it in voice chat, like open, not open on 202, same thing with 203, and you're going to need to figure out where you're going to evacuate, because every time I've gone to the final floor, that very first booth has always been closed no matter how quickly we've gone to that floor. So I just assume that 301 is actually just closed permanently, unless if anyone lets me know they found it. But in all of my runs, as well as all of my friends' runs, we have never seen 301 open. So here you're going to keep going, explore the entire second floor, and you're going to want to evacuate when there's about 3 minutes left. If you do everything extremely quickly, which is very easy to do if you have 4 people, you're going to want to check the very beginning of the third floor, and then when it's about 3 minutes and 15, you're going to backtrack to the second floor to evacuate. And hopefully in one run, you're going to get the boss key card since you've explored pretty much the entire map, but it might take you 2 runs. This means that after 2 looting phases, you're going to get about between 100 and 200k per run of this, and most of that money is going to be off those items that you can get. There are these statues that you can find that are worth about 50k Fons, and I would say in this phase, the amount of statues you find here, which is going to be RNG, right? That's going to determine whether you're going to be on the upper side of that or the lower side of that. So I would say to get the boss key secured with multiple people, it's going to take about 1 or 2 rounds. So if you do 2 loot phases, you're going to be at about 300k Fons in under 20 minutes. And now we are on the boss round. And the boss round is going to be a little bit different because you're not going to want to clear the first floor anymore. You're going to want to go straight to the second floor, and then you do have enough time to clear bits of the second floor. It's going to depend on how strong your characters are. The final boss is level 50, and with 3 people who are under leveled, for my friends specifically, we have 3 characters level 40 and 1 character at level 30 for most of us. And it takes us about 3 to 4 minutes to defeat the boss. And because the boss doesn't just instantly give you the Fons, you're going to have to pick it up on the floor and it spawns randomly. You want to give yourself about a minute to pick all of that up. So at this point, I would say that for your looting on your boss round, you want to give yourself, say with my friends for example, we needed about 3 minutes to beat the boss, 1 minute to get all of the loot, and then we just want a 1 minute padding. So we wanted to be at the boss at the 5-minute mark, but it's going to depend on how high your level is. We're still on the first week, so the farther we get into the game, the quicker it's going to be to take the boss down. So like you can probably later on, once we're max level, beat this boss in like a couple seconds. We don't know. We're going to see where it goes. So this means that like in total, the boss round is going to get you about 350k. It's probably going to take about 10 minutes. And from 2 looting phases before that, you're going to get 300k. So that means in about, I would say, a little bit under 30 minutes, you're going to get about 650k Fons doing this method, which means you just repeat this and you're going to cap out pretty quickly. So I would say this is about 3 looting phases, which is about 25 minutes total, including downtime, with the 2 boss runs on top, which is going to be well over 1 million. Takes less than an hour and has been pretty much working for my entire friend group. This means you can get this daily, or not daily, but this like game mode that occurs every like 2 weeks out of the way as quickly as possible. And if your team's RNG is bad, you don't find the boss key, and it takes you like 3 or 4 runs, well, it's probably going to take you a full hour to get that guap guap, boys. It's okay, though. It is what it is in RNG gacha games. So there you have it. I hope this guide helps you out, and be sure to press that subscribe button for more Neverness to Everness content. Also, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you're struggling with in Neverness to Everness besides Pink Paws Heist, so it can really help me figure out what type of guides people actually need. So, trueeevil over and out.